What's up, everybody? Mike here. In his Baldur's Gate 3 build guide video, I'll be going over and showcasing the level 6 version of my Tempest Cleric I'm doing here. Now, there is my level 3 version video of this build. If you haven't checked already, please do. And come back to this one. And in this video, I'll be going over like the abilities you'll pick up, feat, equipment used, spells with this build up to level 6, going through level 4, 5, and 6. So, hope you enjoy this. Now, here we are with level 4 version of the Tempest Cleric here, where you pick up a level 2 spell slot. You gain a cantrip as well. Now, with this one, picking next cantrip is kind of tricky here, because if you're running the same type of, party setup I'm running, where I'm running my custom character of Monk, and I got Will with me, and Karlach, and Shadowheart. Karlach gets this already. So I feel like this is only important to pick up if you're not having Karlach in your party and you're running this type of build, not necessarily with Shadowheart, but if you run this on your custom character, and you don't have Karlach in your party, then I would say pick this one up, Thaumaturgy. If not, though, and this is very race dependent too, because with Shadowheart, she is a elf, so she has dark vision. She doesn't need light cantrip. But if you're not a race that can't see in the dark with dark vision or spirit dark vision, then I would suggest pick this up, like if you're human or something like that. So this is very kind of dependent on your race and situational here too. And since that is the case with her being the way she is, then I would suggest either Sacred Flame or Produce Flame cantrip. Sacred Flame, you 1 to 8 damage, engulf a target in a flame-like radiance, 18 meters. It's an action. And you got Produce Flame. A flame in your hand sheds a light in 9 meter radius and deals 1 to 8 fire damage when thrown. Now, here's the thing too with this. This is kind of like depend on race too, where it's kind of like the situation with light, where I kind of feel like you don't need light or this if you are a race that has dark vision. So you're going to see in the dark anyway. So I feel like this has been more beneficial if you're a human, or a different race for that. So since she is an elf, I'm going to go with Sacred Flame, even I know that this is a Tempest build. It's supposed to be mainly lightning and thunder focus, but got to pick one of these. So this is what I'm going with. Then you got to choose again when it comes to your prepared spells here. You get up to 7 now. So here you have the Guiding Bolt. You have Bless, right? You have Cure Wounds. You have Warding Bond if you decide to stick with that instead of Shield of Faith. And Prayer of Healing if you decide to stick with that. And Enhanced Ability if you decide to stick with that. So now here automatically gives you like Silence. I still don't recommend Silence. If you want to use it, go ahead for this build, but if you don't know what Silence does, Silence, create a soundproof spear. All within are silenced and immune to thunder damage. So this is good, I guess, in a sense you're trying to maybe protect your allies from thunder damage. And anybody trying to sneak up on you, I guess, that's maybe like quiet or whatever, but there's really hasn't been any situations where I personally have found this useful to utilize. So at least at the stage in the game where I'm at, where I'm early to mid game still. So I don't know. Maybe it could be useful later on in certain situations, but as right now, no. And then Blindness, I'm not picking this up because that's going to go on Will with his Pyro Warlock build. So no need to utilize that in my opinion. With her, since Will's going to be using that, since I'm using Will in my party. But if you're not having a character already with Blindness, then put on your Tempest Cleric in this one, I would suggest. There's a couple choices I would suggest here that'll be really strong, and that is Hold Person. Hold a humanoid enemy still. They can't move or act. Attacks from within 3 meters are always critical hits. This is for 10 turns as well, as long as you keep your concentration, I believe. Now, here's the thing. If you have issues with your concentration, there's a feat you can pick up, which I'm about to get into in a bit here. That'd be really helpful so that we can keep your concentration going for this. So this would be helpful in that regard to help, with a melee character that's nearby the humanoid enemy that you cast this on, and they just automatically do critical hits to it to kill them quickly. The other one I suggest, if you want to go with, is a healing spell of some kind, whether you want to go and get Healing Word, because you already got Cure Wounds and Prayer of Healing. So if you want to get Healing Word to help you in combat and outside of combat, you know, and not just be stuck with prayer healing, which is only effective outside of combat, even though it heals for a lot more. That's your choice there. Or if you want to go with 8, up to you. That's another option if you want to be more healer, because this is a healing / lightning thunder focus build support class. So I would say, you know, all those good choices. A whole person or healing are my main two I'll suggest there for this. When it comes to feats, now I recommend 2, and it's up to you, that I think are best for this build, and probably clerics in general at this stage of the game where, you know, you reach level 4, you got a new feat to pick, right? Building improvement obviously being a great option, because then you can just go right into wisdom and just put some more points into that to essentially do more damage while still tanking and healing. The other option, though, I want you to consider is Warcaster, because you have an advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. And if you are using the whole person, that requires concentration, and you want to be able to keep that on an enemy for those 10 turns, or as long as it needs to be, so that your allies can hit it, or you yourself can hit it, and it's automatically a critical hit within the 3 meters of distance. Plus, you can use a reaction to cast a shocking grasp at a target moving out of melee range. Also, you know, very good. It kind of fits the theme of the Tempest here. Here at level 5, you get level 3 spell slots unlocked. Level 3 spell slots unlocked. And then you get Destroy Undead. When you successfully turn an undead creature, it also takes 4 to 24 radiant damage. So this is a buff from Turn Undead. It's going to be very useful when you're going up against undead enemies. You also get some new selection of spells to choose from here. Spells you automatically get, though, and can't replace, because this is the essentially class feature, subclass feature of this. You get Call Lightning. Lightning strikes all targets within range. Then for 10 turns, you can call down lightning again without expending a spell slot. That is very, very good, very strong. 10 turns, and then on save, targets still take half damage. Like, oh my god. And then you got Sleet Storm. Call forth a storm that disrupts the concentration of spellcasters, douses fires, and creates an ice surface. So this is a multitude of positives here that you can do. Last 10 turns, it does multiple things that'll help you out in different situations. Like if you're dealing with spellcast enemies, you can disrupt their concentration. You know, you can help with fires if you need to get through a path that's on fire, you know, and create an ice surface too, to create a bridge. Like, it's fantastic. Why not? And now the tough decision, because you got 8 prepared spells now. It keeps going up and up, and depending on your playstyle and how you're doing good in combat, it automatically gives you Revivify, right? This will save you on having to spend money on buying scrolls of Revivify, because those can be hard to come by. You know, not everybody sells them either, and they're hard to come by even by exploring the environment too. So I highly recommend, since this is still a support caster focused class with healing and doing some damage with lightning, get this. If you don't want to, I understand. That's fine. But at the same time, you know, it depends on how you're playing the game, but I think this is a really good one to pick up. Another one to get pick up if you want to swap out one of your healing spells here. You know, if you don't want to cure wounds anymore or don't want prayer healing, Mass Healing Word. 4 to 7 healing, though. Keep that in mind. So you're not going to do as much with this. I still recommend keeping this at least. Maybe if you want to get rid of Cure Wounds and replace it with Mass Healing Word, go ahead. Heals up to 6 allies. Now keep in mind, you can always swap these out when you need to, because there might be some spells you want to try out that might be situational. Like, for example, if you go into a fight that you weren't prepared for and they're cursing you and stuff like that, you know, putting curse on you, and you might need to pick up Remove Curse to deal with that particular combat situation. You just may need to, if you make sure you save too. Make sure you save before the fight, reload the save, and then you can always swap this out, use this for that fight. You know, so some of these might be situational, but overall, I think it's going to be a solid set right here with maybe some minor adjustments. And then here we are at level 6, level 3 spell slot unlocked. Channel Divinity charges 1 to get more of the Channel Divinity charges here. Subclass feature, you get Thunderbolt Strike. When you deal lightning or thunder damage to a creature that is large or smaller, you can also push it up to 3 meters. So that's going to be even more where you're doing push damage, especially if you got an enemy that's like on an edge or cliff and you want to try and kill them by pushing them off. If they only need, and if it's within that 3 meter range, you're good to go as long as you hit. So here we are again now with prepare spells. We got more we can do. 9 now. And keep in mind, you got quite a bit of concentration. Spells you utilize like with whole person, with bless, for example. So keep in mind, if you do pick up one, it's going to be mostly concentration focused here. And with this, you know, you have the option if you want to, if you decide to keep Cure Wounds and keep Prayer Healing and keep Revivify, now you can pick up Mass Healing Word as an extra healing spell if you want. Another suggestion I'll make, though, is Spirit Guardians. Call forth spirits to protect you. Nearby enemies take 3 to 24 radiant damage or 3 to 24 necrotic damage per turn, and the movement speed is halved. Save targets still take half damage. So interesting, like if you want to go with this, you can. There's gonna be other build variations I do in the future though, because as you can see here, you know, you got Animate the Dead in here. It's a necromancy spell. You got the Spirit Guardians, of course, here. You know, you got Bestow Curse, Remove Curse. Like you can essentially make a necromancy cleric if you want. So, you know, if you want to dabble in that a little bit, you can. But since we're mainly focused on Tempest, I'm not doing any necromancy stuff. Got Beacon of Hope you can go into. Your allies will regain maximum hit points, possible when healed. They also gain advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws. So this can be another good option to utilize if you don't want to go Spirit Guardians or Mass Healing Word. You know, Beacon of Hope. When it comes to equipment with Shadowheart at level 6 here, you can go with this type of equipment here, build setup, where at the top here, I'll start with the headpiece. You got Pyrrha's Crown? Pyrrha's Crown from Center. Crowning Glory. When healing another, the wearer regains 1 to 6 hit points. 1 to 6 hit points, like that's incredible. So when you're healing yourself. You know, why not? With this type of build, with being a support caster as Shadowheart, you know, when you're healing, you might as well heal yourself too. So that way, and it does that way you're not, you know, expending any extra spell slots. For the chest piece here, for the body, Splint Armor +1. Armor class 18. Spear Plate, you take 1 less piercing damage. You do have disadvantage on stealth checks, not stealth attacks, but that's not very important. It's heavy armor. You know, I suggest heavy armor with her anyway, because of her being a tank healer that can do some decent DPS as well too. You know, it's going to be very useful to keep her alive, add that survivability with armor class of 20, as you can see here, because of this armor. Like, come on. Whew. And she gets that from the armor and the shield, too. So, yeah, I want to utilize the shield with her. Go Safeguard Shield, saving throw, +1. So that way, that just helps her even more on her saving throws. When it comes to weapons, got Dragon's Grasp. Going to keep it with the hand axe for the time being. And this, for if you know, this is going to complement if with Will, with him being a pyro warlock, if you got that type of setup, or someone that can do fire damage on enemy, you know, has the burning alive, deals additional 1 to 4 slashing damage to burning targets. If you got enemies that are on fire, either from environmental stuff, or if you got a character that can do fire attacks that have enemies on fire. And then, of course, get her like crossbow for some range combat when she's either low on spell slots or needs to use that instead, or if you want to use that instead of spell slots to save them for a bigger fight. When it comes to the jewelries stuff here, you got Mage's Friend, which adds +1 to her Arcana, +1 to her Religion. She already has, I think, plus to Religion here. That's going to help out even more. And it kind of fits her character and playstyle anyway with that. And then Ring of Salving. I might be saying that, sorry. Savior's Allure. You restore an additional 2 hit points every time you heal another creature. Once again, combining it with this to give you even more healing when you need it. Moon Drop Pendant. Riding Dance. When the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke opportunity attacks. This is very good if you're trying to, you know, get away from enemy. You're low 50% or lower in your hit points. You need to get away to heal or whatever have you. then you will not be affected by opportunity attacks and won't be provoked. Get you out of there. So that wraps up the level 6 Tempest Cleric build I have for you guys in this mid-game build. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was very helpful to you. And I can't wait to bring you more. Bring you to level 9 version of this, level 12. See how it evolves, showcase it, all that good stuff. If you did enjoy this, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell for notifications. Stay tuned for more, because I got more build videos coming at you. This is only one way you can do this Temple Cleric as well, too. I'm going to be bringing out variations of this soon. Just give me time, because Baldur's Gate 3 is a huge game. It's going to take a lot of playthroughs and stuff like that, too. But I can't wait. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad you guys are here supporting and joining as well, too. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.